Malcolm stacked dishes loudly on top of one another. Sometimes he found his mysterious way of talking intriguing, and sometimes a tad more dogged annoying. "What do you mean?" "I see what's happening to you," she said, talking toward the kitchen. "You are changing." He followed after her, carrying the dishes like football. "I'm not changing. I'm having a good time. I'm enjoying my life." "You are becoming one of them," said little Al, hitting the last word hard. She reached her chrome sink and turned on the water, filling it with her fingers. There was brass pots hanging from the rack above her head, and a huge steel deep-freeze refrigerator on the other side, a marble island that took up much of the room. "That's not fair," Malcolm said. He felt like he'd stopped slapped. She was comparing him to the expats like all over Tokyo, the ones he was always trying to protect her from. The ones he was ashamed of, who darkened the streets of Roppongi every Friday and Saturday night. "I'm a part of culture where you work hard and play hard, and there is no way of it." "It's not about culture," she said, stumbling on the last word. "It's not who you choose to be, and you are choosing to be like them." Malcolm felt an anger rising. "Well, I'm one of them." He regretted saying it. A minute came out of his mouth. She glared at him, then stormed out of kitchen. "No," she said over her shoulder. "If you're one of them, I wouldn't be there." Alone in the kitchen, he pawed the floor with his shoes. Part of him wanted to go after her and to tell her that she was right. He would slow down, make some changes back to the way he was, but part of him was still angry. But why was she judging him? Because he was buying a nice clothes, going to the nice restaurants and bars? He knew that what wasn't it was carny, always carny. It was the hedge funds, the money they were making it. Malcolm sighed. He wished that someone who'd talk to, someone who'd understand. No sign of his mother or any of his friends from college who barely remembered that he existed. Someone who was part of the world, a carrier. He rubbed his jaw, his eyes reflexively drifting towards the door that led out into the living room. Even from the middle of the kitchen he could see the open backgammon board spread out across the coffee table, the ceramic black and white pieces already set up for a new game. The ivory dice rested inside the ornate wooden dice up, dormant, falling their way too long. He had seen less and less of his former best friend in the weeks in Hong Kong. He didn't know if Carrie was jealous and that Malcolm had managed to trump even his real estate loans. If Carrie had just too busy with his work and he'd barely passed the gently half-Japanese traits hallways of AC. He wasn't sure Carrie had even shown up at the office in the past few days. Malcolm decided that it was time to put things right between them. Just in Osaka, Carrie was only a few floors away. There was no fire escape connected them, but here was the building elevator with just two fine. Malcolm needed to talk, and whether Carrie knew it or not, Carrie needed his friend back into his life. "All right, I am coming, but I am not wearing any underwear." It wasn't the greeting Malcolm had hoped for, but it was enough to put a smile on his face. He'd been knocking on Carrie's door for nearly 5 minutes before he had just shuffled off feet from the other side. Carrie finally unlocked the door and pulled it open. Malcolm was shocked to see his friend's face, but not just because it had been so long, but because Carrie looked like shit. His eyes were peas, his cheeks were carved by spots of fresh aim. His hair was brushed to the one side, and he looked like he hadn't taken the shower in a few days. He was wearing a jeans jacket and sweatpants or without underwear. Malcolm couldn't be sure, and his sneakers were covered in mud. Репетитор по скайпу, Smart Teacher 197.